Good morning.
Good morning.
Did you have a good week in the Lord? If you had a good week, it was probably in the Lord. Amen.
Amen.
I tell you, you said that every family has them, and I feel that way at times too. But our pride, we don't like to admit that our families have problems. That would never happen in my family.
Oh, Lord. Please don't say that.
Not in the Wilsons. No. But, yeah, you said that you have tribulation. Yeah, I have tribulation. And I'm sure everybody here does. We'll speak to you this morning about something that this pains me because my flesh don't like this. I don't like to even talk about this, but it's here. So we're going to talk about it. 2 Samuel chapter 17. We saw last week, or the last time I was up here, John was here last week, but the last time I stood before you, how Ahithophel gave ungodly counsel to Absalom. And Absalom accepted it. And it is what it is. Now, emboldened by his success, Ahithophel's going to give Absalom some more counsel. You know, one of the most dangerous things that can happen to you is you can be successful and you can be lifted up with pride. Pride's what made the devil the devil. Isaiah 14, I think it is, said, I will ascend.
Yep.
I will be like the Most High. When I look at myself, I saw the enemy this morning. He was brushing his teeth and combing his hair. Good looking dude too.
Oh, man.
No pride at all. One of the things I have the hardest time with is accepting defeat or accepting that I am wrong about something. I got to get that last word in. It might be yes, ma'am, but I'm going to win that argument. I'm going to show them I'm right. I'm going to show them my doctrine is right. And what do? We spiral down. And that's what's happened to Ahithophel here. I want to read you verse 23 and then we'll back up to verses 1 and verse 23. And when Ahithophel saw that his counsel was not followed, he saddled his ass and arose and got him home to his house, to his city, and put his household in order, and hanged himself and died, and was buried in the sepulchre of his fathers, when he saw his counsel was not followed. He could not accept that they didn't do what he suggested to do here. But let's see what he suggested that they do here in verse 1. Moreover, Ahithophel said unto Absalom, Let me now choose out 12,000 men, and I will arise and pursue after David this night. And I will come upon him while he is weary and weak-handed, and will make him afraid, and all the people that are with him shall flee, and I will smite the king only. And I will bring back all the people unto thee. The man whom thou seekest is as if all return. So all the people shall be in peace. And the saying pleased Absalom well, and all the elders of Israel. I want you to notice there how many times you see the word I in those first 3 verses. I will arise and pursue after David. I will come upon him. I will smite the king only. I will bring back all of the people. And you're talking about somebody that's a counselor here. Ahithophel's not a warrior. He is not a warrior. He is in over his head. But his success here in this situation and his pride has elevated him above and beyond what he's really capable of. Y'all ever done that?
Yeah.
I've let my 55-gallon mouth overload my 5-gallon backside a time or two. I have. Pride. That's why I said this hurts. I know I'm going to pay for this. I'm not beating up on y'all this morning, I'm beating up on me. Because I know how much pride I have about myself. I've told y'all before jokingly, I pride myself in my humility. Now I've told y'all before, Ahithophel here is after David. And he makes that pretty obvious here. He says, I will kill the king. And the king only. I'm not there for anybody else but him. And what's amazing here is Absalom, there's no recoil. I mean, that's Absalom's dad. Do you see how your pride can blind you? I have 2 incidents in my life where I can remember where my pride blinded me and I got myself in a bunch of trouble. Out of the will of God. Just like these 2 men are here. They should have been, listen, I believe Ahithophel, if he went back to David, David would have forgiven him. David was a very merciful man. Unlike Absalom here. Absalom's a murderer. Very prideful. He's entitled to the throne. Who does that sound like? His agenda be done. Ahithophel cannot handle it when his will is not done. Who does that sound like? His strategy here is, I'll kill the king, I'll smite the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered. Does that sound familiar? So whose will is he doing here? Whose counsel is he following here? See, I find myself in my prayer life now thanking and praising God for His goodness to me and keeping my mouth shut about the rest of it. How do you tell a holy God how to handle a situation? How do I instruct God how to run my life? If I do, what am I doing? I will. See, in my mind, I've already got it all planned out, all the things I will do next week. Harold's laughing because he's done the same thing. And ask me next Sunday how much of it I got done. Where the Lord intervened and said, oh, no, you're not. And thank God He does. He removes our pride. If you will, in closing, let's go to 1 Peter chapter 5. In dealing with pride, what did God say about it? The Bible tells us plainly, God resists the proud. In James 4:6, he says God resists the proud. In Luke 1, when Mary is talking to Elizabeth, she said He's raised up the lowly and put down the ones that are on high. But yet we constantly want to do what? Lift ourselves up. Lift ourselves up. And hey, I'm guilty of this. And I'll try to be humble and put on the cloak of humility, and I can't hang on to it.
Yeah.
I can't hang on to it. Something will come along that'll irritate my pride, and it'll rear its ugly head quicker than anything. It's almost like a reflex. How dare they insult my programming code? That's some of the best work I've ever done. Tell me they've seen better. Yeah. This gets close to home. It hurts. But I thank God I can see this now. There was a time when I wallowed in it. Hey, I want more pride. Oh, you don't like that? I'll show you. Or not being able to accept it and going home and hanging myself, so to speak. Verse 5 here, 1 Peter. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. For God resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. I'm amazed. You were talking about the Old Testament saints praying, oh Lord, where God told Moses and he told Joshua, he said, today I will magnify you in the sight of the people. Now, why would he magnify them? Because they had humbled and submitted to him. They weren't doing their will with the children of Israel. They were doing what God told them to do. If I want to be big, I got to be small. What's that scripture say? The first shall be last,
That's right.
and the last shall be first. Remember, Jesus came and was born in a barn, not a palace. Wow. Contrary thinking, isn't it? Verse 7. Cast all your care upon him, for he careth for you. I was talking about praying and my pride in my prayer life. Y'all, I'm not lying here when I tell you this. I keep my mouth shut about what I ask for. Because I'll get it. And a lot of times after I get it, I don't want it. You ever heard of buyer's remorse?
Yeah, I lived it.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Susan. He said he'd leave. Be careful what you ask for. Listen, our God hears our prayers and He answers them. If you don't believe He'll do that, read over there in Exodus where it said He sent them with the lust of their flesh, but He sent leanness.
Yep.
He sent leanness. Okay, you want fleshly things, here you are. But you're going to starve to death spiritually. You want this world instead of the world to come, here you go. Demas hath forsaken me. If you can go away, you will. What did Ahithophel do? He went away. God showed David here what Ahithophel was really made of. See, Ahithophel was Bathsheba's grandpa. Remember that. And he had a bone to pick here, and he saw an opportunity, and he took it. Kind of like Judas. Was not really a true friend of David's, even though he was David's advisor. Pride. Now I mentioned verse 7 there, casting all our cares upon him, for he careth for you. If you'll notice, it does not distinguish what the cares are. It says cast all. Cast all your cares on him. You got to remove some pride to do that. See, there's some cares we think we can handle. Those small cares. John come by one day to see me, to cheer me up. He said, how's your day been? I said, it's been so good I didn't even need the Lord today. And you could see him duck, like a lightning bolt was going to fall out of the sky on us.
That boy ain't right.
And I told him, I said, no, I'm being honest. That's the way we think a lot of times. Hey, this is a good day. And that's really when it's a bad day, because our pride has puffed us up. We didn't need the Lord that day. We handled all our cares ourselves. When you cast your care on Him, are you going to tell Him how to handle them? Hey, Lord, here are these. If millionaire Mike down here, if I carry all my bills to him and cast them on him, am I going to tell him how to handle them? Hey, I want you to pay this one this way. Susan said he ain't got $1 million. I know he don't. I'm trying to make... We carry our cares to God, and then we want to tell Him how to handle them. Our pride. That's my point this morning. Humble ourselves. Cast our cares on Him. When you cast that net out there in the water, are you in control of what it brings back? How it brings it back? Cast our cares on Him this week. All of them. The small ones we think we've got control of, because guess what they'll do? They'll wiggle out and bite you. God resisteth the proud. So He sure is resisting me a lot. Why? Because of my disobedience. I'm not clothing myself in humility. I want to be number one. I want to arise and ascend above the clouds. I want to be God. I want to be like the Most High One. I want to be in control. I don't want to cast all my cares on him. But it says he cares for me. Again, when you pray this week, think about what you're praying. Are you telling God how to do it? Or are you asking for his help and then trusting that the help he sends, or however he handles that situation, is the right way? Has he ever made a mistake? He's not done things my way is the problem I have.
Amen.
I love y'all. May the Lord bless your soul this morning.